Hey everybody, Tom Barnish, Chicago scene in the South Chicago neighborhood. Yep, take a look at that. Chicago flags being handmade here at W.G.N. Not the TV station, no, because there's a W.G.N., believe it or not, that preemptively beat W.G.N. TV, and that's the W.G.N. Flag Company right here in South Chicago. This is the great-grandson of the founder?
Yes, started by my great-grandfather, William George Newbould, in 1916.
Hence W.G.N.
W.G.N.
And you're Gus, his great-grandson. Gus, I mean, do you guys realize the impact you have on Chicagoans every day by the work that you do? I mean, it's all over our city.
Between the history of the past 106 years and the stuff that we're doing now, I am so proud to be a part of Chicago's history, to have been a keystone in all of these events that have happened throughout Chicago's history, throughout this company. Just so proud to be a part of this city.
Right, 106 years, you guys have seen some things in that time, including you did stuff for all the Blackhawks championship banners. Did you guys were around for the stuff that hangs in the United Center that is by the Bulls as well?
Not only United Center, but go back to Old Chicago Stadium. Those were all ours. Go back even older, we decorated for the Queen's arrival back when they started Buckingham Fountain. So our history isn't just the past 20 years of sports. It goes back the full 106 years.
That's incredible. And you do everything right here in this space here in the South Chicago neighborhood. As people can see behind you, the Chicago flags being made right now. And for the most part, all the city flags, at least downtown and surrounding neighborhoods, are made right here. And you guys not only help making them or make them, and you also help maintain them as well on certain buildings throughout downtown. And I think a lot of people might not know that.
We sell the flags, we sell the flagpoles, we maintain the flagpoles, we change the ropes. Basically, if it has anything to do with flags, flagpoles, anything regarding flags, we take care of it.
And you said you've gone as far west as Rockford, far south as Bloomington Normal, and far north as Milwaukee. I mean, that's an incredible footprint, and that's just with local flags and the city flag here. You even do police flags and other things within the city as well, right?
Yeah, that's just as far as my crew can travel, but our flags, we ship those out all over the world. We'll ship them to Canada or any other country that we need to. Our flags are flying in almost every single state right now, all over the country, all over the city. It's incredible.
And if people are walking through the city, besides the Chicago flag, if they see a police flag of some kind, or fire department flag, or even the Park District, you guys are making those.
Those are pretty much exclusively done right here at W.G.N. We handle a lot of the work for the city, all of the flagpole repair. Even throughout the state of Illinois, we do all of the U.S., Illinois, and POW flags throughout the state.
Not know that. It's incredible that, and I go back to the footprint that you guys have. I mean, all over the city here for sure, and all over the state. I mean, it's just, it's something very unique, and it's funny that it's WGN, or I should say ironic, because WGN TV has that same kind of, I think, legacy. But I mean, you guys have seen your work in movies, some of the most iconic movies of recent memory, including stuff in The Dark Knight. Talk about that real quick.
Oh, The Dark Knight, that was probably my absolute favorite movie to have done work on. I was a Batman fan at the time. I had some good friends who were Batman fans, and watching that movie, I'm probably the most annoying person in the world to watch that movie with, because I'm not looking at the scenes, I'm not pointing out anything. All I'm doing is I did that flag, that flag, that flag, that one. Oh, see that scene right there? It's something that really gets down into your soul. It just means that much to you.
Right. We were talking earlier about, I mean, you've done lots of movies and you do period pieces. You're working on a specific flag for the United States from a period piece. I think you said 1837 for some show that'll be on a streaming service. But one of the biggest things that you've seen that makes you most proud, not most proud, I should say, but a proud moment for you is that scene in Backdraft. If people aren't familiar, it's a movie that Ron Howard directed, I believe in the late 80s, early 90s. But the procession down Michigan Avenue, I believe, with the bunting on all the fire trucks.
When you've got the fire trucks going down and there's the purple and black bunting covering every single one of those fire trucks. My father installed that, made and installed all of that on all of those rigs just for that scene. And with that work, oh my God, that is one of the most powerful scenes.
Absolutely. And not only that, but that legacy of the Chicago Fire Department continues in the cinema world with the Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, a lot of shows filmed in Chicago. They need flags from certain eras or just need a city flag to be flown in a certain scene, and they come to you guys, and I think that's incredible.
Oh yeah, we do almost all of the flags. Most of our stuff is hidden in the background on a lot of, whether it be a movie, a TV show. Sometimes you got to hunt it down in there. Sometimes we'll do massive work for one scene and that scene gets cut. So that's always disappointing, but it still just means that much to be a part of that scene, and especially when you do finally get to see it. Barely a better feeling.
And you guys do the flags, you maintain them, but you also do signs throughout as well. Why don't you explain that side of the business? Because it's like a multifaceted business that you guys have going on here.
We cover so much, but yeah, any kind of custom signs and banners, we do that right here in-house. There's so many places right now that'll call us. Well, they're telling me like 2-3 weeks because they've got to order it from a place in California. Give me a couple hours or a day. I can have something for you. That's not a problem. It's designed right here. It's printed right here. It's sewn right here.
Everything made in-house here, and I think it's great that from walking around here, it feels like just a family vibe. The ladies back there who are sewing. I mean, there's not many sewing stations. I mean, you guys probably keep it in the family as a family-run business.
It's always been our family in the front office, and most of the people who've worked here have worked here for 20, 30, 40 years or more. We had one girl who finally retired this year, but she worked for all 4 generations of my family.
Wow, really? What was her name?
Her name was Dina, and she's still around and kicking, and
she worked here 40-something years.
She worked here...
Or longer, probably.
So long, and she had seen so much, and that woman could sew anything. Absolutely anything.
And speaking of, you probably was asked to sew almost anything, because you guys do custom work where people might have different ideas for a flag for their boat, or something specific for their house, or just something very unique and random as well, correct?
Imaginations run wild with people, whether it's a creative logo or somebody wanting something funny to hang at a lake house, or a strange boat name. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a logo or even a photo, that can all go on a flag now.
Right, and movie companies call you, if they're like, hey, we're making this movie from 1655, we need this flag for this movie, or 1855, or so on and so forth. You guys find the pattern, you make it right here in house. You even use the little, I was asking you about the way that you make these flags where there's different layers. You have pins that you put things in place to make it all sort of correct, including what you guys do with the Chicago flag, and then you sew. I mean, it's a time-intensive process to make these flags.
And with some of these historical flags, we even try and sew them more original. We'll try and sew them with a single needle instead of a double needle, just to make them that much more authentic. It's one of those things in the background of movies that people don't really think about, is that everything needs to be historically accurate. Not just, you don't want them wearing a wristwatch, but you need the flags in the background to match. And flags change over time, especially the U.S. flag.
Yeah. And I imagine when we were talking about it being a time-intensive process, even the Chicago flag, it's got a few layers to it, the stripes, the stars. I imagine being handmade, it is a labor of love to make sure that these are put out the correct way to represent, versus being like a printed-on flag or something like that.
There's no other flag that I would need to see fully sewn than the Chicago flag. I could do the printed ones. I could probably do them a little bit cheaper than we do the sewn ones. They don't look nearly as nice. You don't get near the amount of quality. And to have that pride that you put into something, you're not going to have the same pride when a machine does all the work.
Right.
When you've got the love and the care that goes into it, every single thread, every single star, that means something. And
I think it means something that people buy it from a Chicago company, made by Chicagoans, especially with the Chicago flag, and a multi-generational business. Gus, it's incredible, Gus. It really is.
I love sending my flags all over the country, whether it's snowbirds in Florida, or to a lake house up in Wisconsin. My father-in-law just bought a house up there, and sure enough, the flag flying on the pole was a W.G.N. flag.
Incredible. And if people want to buy their own flag, what's the best way for them to go about that, to buy a W.G.N. flag?
They can call us, email us, or go to our website at wgnflag.com.
Thank you very much, Gus. I appreciate you taking the time to show me this. I mean, this is one of my favorite Chicago scene stories I've done, just because I love the Chicago flag and I love what it stands for.
So happy to have you, and so happy to be part of City of Chicago.
Fantastic. Well, that's the Chicago scene, everybody. And look at this big daddy here getting all the trimmings to be flown somewhere above the city. If you want to learn more or have a suggestion for Chicago scene, TBARNAS at WGNTV.com. That's TBarnes at WGNTV.com. Gus, do you know where this one might be flying soon?
Let's see. This one looks like it might be going to the Art Institute of Chicago.
Oh, another spot where you guys fly, for sure.
Another spot.
All right. Well, thank you, Gus.
Thank you.